At first glance, the day promised no surprises. A modest procession, a strict dress code, set faces, and a near-military precision to every step, exactly how royal families say goodbye. The king, the heir, the Princess of Wales, elderly relatives with canes, those cousins and second cousins who seem born for moments like this, to show up, shoulder the weight, and stand in silence. Which is why the day's focus wasn't on who came, but on who didn't. The empty space in the row spoke louder than any eulogy. That space belonged to a prince raised alongside this family, who has known the Kents all his life, who grew up within these walls as a boy, a teen, a man. That's why the absence stung. Not because we must pick on Harry, but because on days like this in Britain there's one simple rule: everyone who can, comes. Even those for whom it hurts to stand. Images from Windsor and the nearby chapels were a masterclass in quiet respect. Catherine, an austere line of black, the same dress she wore at Prince Philip's funeral, pearls that belonged to the Queen as a soft sign of continuity. No nod to fashion's newness, no attempt to pull focus, on the contrary, a deliberate dissolving into ritual. Nearby, the Duke of Kent leaning on his daughter. On the list, the Gloucesters, the Yorks, Lady Gabriella, Sarah Ferguson, people in their 90s, people who have lost and rebuilt, people who seldom face flashbulbs but always come when duty and memory call. Against that chorus, one person's absence clanged. He didn't fit this orchestral chord, he didn't even try. In Harry's defense, the stock phrases are already rolling in. Security fears. Difficult logistics. A clash of calendars. We weren't told in time. On a different day, some of that might persuade. But when those who can barely stand still show up anyway, when the seldom seen step forward to stand together, the excuse we couldn't make it work falls flat. Some days are not for counting rows, or worrying who sits by whom, or thinking about camera angles. Some days are simply for being there. The funeral of the Duchess of Kent was one of those days. Someone will ask, what if he wasn't wanted there? It's harsh, but fair to consider. Perhaps there is fatigue after years of media storms, the look at me reflex, the seating chart psychodrama. Even so, the right response in the British frame is disarmingly simple. I came anyway, sat quietly, left unnoticed. That's what you do if you truly want reconciliation, not display. This time, we didn't see that gesture. And reconciliation slipped further away more than any sharp newspaper column could push it. The contrast sharpens because Harry has just had a run of public moments in Britain. 4 busy days, a private tea with his father, lines about a clear conscience, truth before reconciliation, and a focus on my father over the next year. Fine words, undeniably. But in Britain, words are tested precisely at the moments when achievements, ratings, and truth don't count. When your duty is to hold a pause beside your family. If there was time for media frames a few days before the service, yet no time on the day of farewell, people remember that longer than any slogan. There's another layer older viewers read at once. The monarchy runs on the tiniest, almost invisible pebbles that build a bridge of trust. Came quietly, +1. Sent a wreath when you truly couldn't travel, +1. Slipped in the next day without cameras to speak to relatives, +1. Gave a big interview that relitigates who said what, -10. It may feel unfair by modern media rules, but that's royal accounting. It rewards silence and presence, not quotes. Which is why an empty chair at a farewell hurts a reputation more than many realize. None of this denies Harry's strengths. He can make a powerful impression on veterans, charity audiences, and Invictus projects. People look at him with warmth there and thank him. But the bridge home isn't built there. It's built on the inconvenient days, when no one applauds, no one seats you in the front row, no one asks your view, only your silent presence. 1 hour in a black suit at the Duchess's funeral would have counted for more than 10 speeches and a stack of pledges anywhere on the map. That's not cynical PR, that's British common sense. The absence carries another uncomfortable echo, the family's long memory for lists and priorities. Who made the wedding guest list, which must have Hollywood names edged out cousins, those choices don't vanish. When the bill arrives, the whole history comes out, moments of respect, and the Times clan was swapped 4 new friends. 4 viewers 50+, that isn't gossip, it's moral inventory. In the critical moment, are you a person of family or a person of spectacle? That's why today's quiet around Harry's name sounds especially clear to that audience. There's also the other side of the frame. On the day Windsor's voices were low and black ribbons whispered, across the ocean came a rosy life is beautiful in clinking glasses and a caption about Beaubac in town. Even if those were truly private photos without any intent to poke fate, the effect landed that way. On such days it's better to stay silent longer than to speak a minute too soon. Not because of bad taste, but because the older generation's code is built like this. Grief is not a backdrop that flatters cheerful stories. It's a small thing, but small things make up the sense of tact. There's a practical bottom line. Don't expect the palace to blast anyone that isn't the style. There won't be official scolding either. There will be something tougher, the ledger of memory. Came, didn't come. Stood with us, stayed quiet. Shared the heavy day, found a reason not to fly. Next time we hear I feel the support of the British people and I want to be here more often, there'll be no public reply, but this day will be recalled. Support isn't likes or applause in a hall, it's the willingness to stand nearby when yourself isn't the center of the frame. Can this be repaired? Yes, but not with posts or interviews. With the opposite, private visits, quiet wreaths, words no one reads but the addressee. Above all, by showing up where there will be no credits and no spotlights. Every public figure reaches a moment when the best strategy is no strategy. It's like the Queen's pearls at Catherine's throat. The jewels don't shout, they speak the island's language. Had Harry appeared at this service, that would have been his own pearl. Far more valuable than another line about truth and conscience. Beneath the titles and motorcades lies the human core. 60-plus years of marriage aren't glossy chronicles, they're bread shared, illnesses weathered, stubborn habits, laughter in the kitchen, the instinct to reach for the other hand in the dark. When one hand is gone, the family tightens into a circle. You enter that circle not by status, but by memory. Everyone who is one of us belongs. An empty space in that circle is physically felt. And honestly, no politics justifies that emptiness. At some point you surrender not to the palace, not to the press, not to your critics, but to a simple rule: come when it hurts. Even for 5 minutes. Sit in the farthest corner if you must. Don't be seen. Just remember. Paradoxically, that would have been Harry's truest step toward reconciliation more than any statement. Because reconciliation in Britain isn't we talked, it's we came and stood together. His grandfather, blunt as ever, might have put it in 2 words. We don't say it that way now, but the meaning holds. Some things are done without explaining why. If, next time, he chooses presence over explanation, the older audience will understand without a word. They aren't waiting for a speech. They're waiting for that empty place in the row to be filled and for the silence to stop shouting.